There is something strange about silence. Today, if you sit alone in a quiet room for too long, it can start to feel uncomfortable. No voices, no music, no traffic, no phone buzzing, no video playing in the background, nothing to distract you from your own thoughts. At first it feels peaceful. Then your mind begins to fill the space. Old memories appear. Worries get louder. Tiny sounds become enormous. Your heartbeat becomes noticeable. The room begins to feel less empty and more like it is listening. So it raises a strange question. If silence can feel so uncomfortable now, how did ancient humans survive it? How did people live thousands of years ago without music streaming, city noise, television, engines, notifications, podcasts, or the constant hum of modern life? Why didn't they go insane from all that silence? At first, the answer seems obvious. Maybe ancient humans were simply tougher than us. But that explanation misses something important. Ancient humans did not live in silence. They lived in a world that was always speaking. The modern world is loud, but it is often loud in a flat way. Engines, fans, machines, distant traffic, electrical humming, background noise that never really means anything to you. Ancient sound was different. It was information. Wind moving through grass, birds calling at dawn, insects rising at night, fire cracking in the dark, rain approaching from a distance, feet stepping over leaves, water moving over stones, animals warning each other, someone breathing nearby. These were not background sounds. They were the world telling you what was happening. To ancient humans, sound was survival. A broken branch could mean danger. A sudden silence in the forest could mean a predator. A familiar voice could mean safety. The crackle of fire could mean warmth. The cry of a child could mean urgency. The rhythm of footsteps could mean friend or stranger. Their ears were not bored. Their ears were working. This is where the question begins to change. Ancient humans were not sitting in empty rooms, trapped with nothing but their thoughts. They were living inside a living soundscape. A forest is not silent. A desert is not silent. A cave is not silent. A coastline is not silent. Even night is not silent. Night has insects, wind, animals, fire, breathing, movement, and the strange pressure of darkness. What modern people often call silence may actually be the absence of machines, but the absence of machines is not the absence of sound. It is the return of older sounds. And maybe that is why ancient silence did not feel empty in the same way. It was full of signals. But something even deeper was happening. Ancient humans were rarely alone. For most of human history, survival depended on the group. People slept near others, worked near others, moved with others, watched children together, shared food, stories, warnings, grief, and fear. Silence did not usually mean isolation. It meant listening together. Imagine a small group sitting around a fire after sunset. No screens, no electricity, no buildings blocking the sky. The fire is low. The night is wide. Nobody is speaking for a moment. To us, that might feel awkward. To them, it may have felt normal. Because silence between people is not always emptiness. Sometimes it is trust. A group that can sit quietly together is not necessarily bored. It is safe enough not to perform. It is listening to the same world. Today, silence often feels strange because we meet it alone. In a bedroom, in an apartment, in a car, in headphones after the music stops. Modern silence isolates the individual. Ancient quiet often surrounded the group. That difference matters. Because the human mind was not designed to be alone with endless abstract thoughts. It was designed to pay attention, to sense, to belong, to respond. And ancient life gave the mind constant reasons to return to the present. You had to notice the weather, track animals, remember paths, care for children, prepare food, repair tools, watch the fire, listen for danger, read faces, follow seasons. The mind was busy, but not in the modern way. Today, our minds are crowded with imaginary futures. Deadlines, messages, bills, status, identity, comparison, news, what might happen next year, what someone meant by a text, whether we are falling behind in a life nobody fully understands. Ancient humans had worries too, terrible ones, hunger, injury, predators, sickness. conflict, death. But many of their worries were immediate and physical. They lived closer to the present because survival demanded it. Silence becomes dangerous when the mind has nowhere to go except inward. Ancient life kept pulling the mind outward, toward fire, toward weather, toward movement, toward the group, toward the world. This does not mean ancient humans were peaceful all the time. They feared, grieved, panicked, suffered, lost people, endured pain, carried trauma. The past was not a meditation retreat, but their quiet was different from ours. Our quiet often comes after overstimulation. We spend all day surrounded by artificial noise, artificial light, artificial urgency, and endless information. Then, when everything stops, the nervous system does not always relax. It rebounds. The silence feels loud because we have forgotten how to enter it slowly. Ancient humans entered quiet every day. Dawn, dusk, night, waiting, watching, walking. Their minds were trained by rhythm. The world had pauses built into it. Modern life removes many of those pauses, then sells them back to us as wellness. Meditation, retreats, nature sounds, white noise, forest bathing, digital detox. In a strange way, we are trying to recreate what ancient humans never fully lost. A relationship with quiet that does not feel like punishment. But there is another reason silence did not destroy them. Ancient humans filled quiet with meaning. Before writing, stories lived in voices. Songs carried memory, rituals shaped fear, myths explained thunder, death, birth, stars, animals, and dreams. When the world became quiet, imagination did not disappear. It became useful. A silent night could become a story. A strange sound could become a warning. A sky full of stars could become a map of gods, ancestors, or animals. The human mind does not tolerate emptiness for long. It creates meaning. That may be the real answer. Ancient humans did not go insane from silence because silence was never nothing. It was nature. It was attention. It was danger. It was community. It was memory. It was the space where stories could appear. Maybe modern silence scares us because we have changed what surrounds it. We no longer hear the forest outside the shelter. We hear the refrigerator hum. We no longer sit beside a fire with people who share our fate. We sit alone beside a glowing phone. We no longer use quiet to listen for the world. We use noise to escape ourselves. So when silence finally arrives, it feels unfamiliar. Not because silence is unnatural, but because we have become unnatural around silence. Perhaps ancient humans were not stronger than us. Perhaps they were simply less separated from the sounds their bodies expected. The wind, the birds, the fire, the footsteps, the voices, the breathing of others in the dark. They lived in a world where quiet still belonged to life. And maybe that is what we are missing. Not constant noise, not total silence, but a kind of quiet that feels inhabited. A silence with texture, a silence with meaning. A silence that does not trap you inside your mind, but returns you to the world. Ancient humans did not survive silence by escaping it. They survived because they knew how to listen. And maybe beneath all our machines, notifications, and endless background noise, that older human is still waiting. Not for louder sound, but for a quieter world that speaks again.